customer care for heating and air conditioning across Central Illinois for some 35 years. Find out their services, specials, and coupons by clicking their icon on TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome in to WTIM, your information station. My name is Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM Morning Show. We'd like to thank our sponsors that make the show possible, People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better at Landmark. On the line today, we have Derek Page, the Assumption Mayor. Mayor Page, how are you today?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good. Thank you, Tim.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for being in today. We get to speak to Taylorville Mayor Bruce Berry plenty, but today we get to speak to Mayor Page of Assumption. So it's really cool to reach over. This town's just right over. So looking into the 2024 year, Mayor Page, it sounds like you guys got some great development happening that you're looking forward to. Bring us through some of those aspects.
We do. For many years, decades, the city of Assumption has been landlocked. And we finally had an opportunity about 2 years ago to purchase some land. A farmer was willing to give up a couple of parcels of land for the city. And so that was an opportunity for us to kind of look at where we're at and kind of expand our city limits, expand our TIF district, and trying to create a subdivision. So this is kind of a joint operation with Assumption Community Pride, an off-group of that called Grow Assumption, in the city. So we've got it moving forward. We closed on the land. The city now owns it. And we hope to break ground in about 2 to 3 weeks, first part of February. And hopefully we can start getting the first house built maybe in April if all things go well with the weather and the infrastructure work.
Wow. I love the sound of that. The movement is really being made over there. When you say landlocked, the situation you've been dealing with for years, the landlocked by property that is owned by farmers.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
Nobody has been willing to sell.
Yeah.
And it gets into situations to where, we have a lot of land that's into family trust. So in order for them to sell, they might have 5 people on a trust, but 3 of them don't want to sell, but 2 of them do. You just kind of get into some odd situations. And, I'll also say this too. So every house that we have had for sale in Assumption that's been over $200,000 have sold. We've even had a couple of homes that are over $200,000. They even got more than listing price. So there is a demand that's out there. People want to move to Christian County. People want to move into the smaller towns. And so we're hoping that with this new subdivision, we can get 16 homes built. The plan is that the city will sell each half-acre lot for $5,000. You then have 18 months to get your home built. It's got to be a 1,300 square foot minimum. It can be a modular home or a manufactured home, anything like that. It's got to be regularly, stick built. And we're just kind of hoping to expand Christian County and expand the population and the population of Assumption.
Sure. Yeah, that's really amazing right there. And it is interesting, the problems that you run into when you're dealing with these family-owned properties right there. But it looks like, some of them have give up some land. That's really awesome. That statistic you brought up right there, but the $200,000 pricing, it really shows a lot right there that people aren't, moving to the smaller towns for, just a better price on their house. But, it seems like they're willing to pay a little bit more to move into Assumption and Christian County. That sounds like some cool movement. What does that mean to you?
Well, even starting this process for creating a subdivision, there was quite a few critics.
Yeah.
Some people was like, nobody's going to move to a small town, and nobody's going to want to build. When we were talking about this, we were, in the height of inflation. But then, my comeback was, you have no idea how some of these people live. You have no idea of people's own finances. And I may not be able to afford a house, but that's not to say that my neighbor down the street isn't able to. So I think that when you start looking and people are coming and showing that, hey, I want to move into these small towns, what I am finding out just from talking to other mayors and people like in community development is that the younger generation, the people from, basically mid-20s to 40s, they want a rural setting, but urban, but the urban activity. So it's what they want to do is that they want to live in a small town, but then they also want some of the things that you can find in urban. They want high-speed internet. They want the high-speed, cable. They also want to be able to go someplace that they can go, have fun, have a drink. And I think that Assumption is able to do all that. We do provide a lot of great things that you would see in an urban setting like Taylorville, Pana, even Springfield, Decatur. We've got CTI in, we've got fiber in, we've got a brewery, we've got a great restaurant as well. And then we also do provide that small town charm by being, a little under 1,200 people.
Yeah, it's that statement that you just brought up right there is the issue that's ailing so many of these small communities. These portions of people, they're looking for rural places to live in, but the urban activities is kind of where a lot of these towns fall short. That's what drives a lot of of the population out to bigger and better areas right there. But it seems like Assumption. Everyone's trying their best to provide these things.
Exactly. Everybody, we try to get everybody to work on the same page. So we have a great community foundation board, Assumption Community Pride. The city works with them, and it is great because they kind of have their thumb on the on what the mood is of people that's out there, and you have to be, you kind of have to be progressive in your way of thinking. I mean, by the town not growing in the numbers that we have for the last decades, we knew that eventually it's going to come to where we're going to start withering on the vine. And a lot of the other communities is going to be like that too. You have to see ways to move forward to get people in, and housing and any type of development to increase your tax base is the way to do it. Really, we started taking off when we got our Dollar General. Everybody complained, "Oh, the grocery store closed." We don't have anything. Then back in early 19, we got a Dollar General. So I mean that's been a wonderful thing for us, and then we just kind of progressed from there. And so it's great to see it.
It's huge, and those developments right there. They losing a grocery store of a town. That is that's a big factor that is hit on right there. And how important is that? We had someone on the morning show yesterday from Pana Save a Lot, and they talked a lot about how local communities and in small towns, it really hurts them when they lose a business like that because the community is not shopping locally. They're bringing their dollars elsewhere. How hard is it to get dollars spent in the local community when there's not a big grocery store there?
It is tough. It's a double-edged sword because when you have I fortunately didn't live in Assumption when we did have the grocery store, but I know Maliqua just up the road from 51 has a grocery store, and people have utilized that. One of the it's great that they have it because the older people are able to go and get it, get the food. And, but then it kind of saves them from having to go to Decatur or anything. The downside to it is that these smaller grocery stores aren't able to buy in bulk, like these bigger places. So then at the same time, you have senior citizens and just, people in general, living on a fixed income that are having to watch their dollars. But then at the same time, they're like, oh man, am I going to be able to afford that can of soup that is, $5 compared to you go to Kroger and get it for $3. It's little things like that. You have to kind of weigh the pros and cons, but you do want to encourage everybody to go and get, get stuff at a local grocery store, and just not at a local grocery store, a local lumber yard, because on the flip side of that, you're keeping your money in, but you're also keeping people employed, and then the city kind of gets money from that through the income taxes. You're keeping, food on those employees' tables. So all around, it's good to keep people in town to do as much shopping as they can. It's also would be great if, some of these places, if we start having DoorDash or, people that can go and get groceries. I see that. There's times that, I see people going from Assumption going to Walmart or to Kroger, and they do the delivery. It'll be great if something like Dollar General was able to do something like that, even if it was somebody like an independent contractor that just did it on the side. Because there's times that it's like, I don't want to have to drive, or stop on Kroger on my way home from work or Walmart. But it would be nice if we had places in Assumption that could kind of maybe do that with Dollar General.
Yeah, and Dollar General, like you said right there, you're kind of paying
Mhm.
for the convenience of the Dollar General right there. And at Kroger, of course, that kind of soup will be a little
Mhm.
bit less. Just learning about some of the pros and cons of the small town living and the great progression happening in the city of Assumption right now with Mayor Derek Page. It's been a great conversation. We're going to take ourselves a little break, but when we come back, we will have more about the city of Assumption with Assumption Mayor Derek Page. My name is Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM Morning Show. Do not go anywhere. We will be right back.
Your information station, WTIM.
Higher yields start with the season-long disease protection of Xyway brand fungicides from FMC. This novel fungicide has been shown to not only protect corn from key foliar diseases, but also generate physiological benefits that help contribute to the development of healthier, higher-yielding plants. Active ingredient flutriafol is rapidly taken up and translocated within plants, providing systemic, long-lasting residual protection. University studies also found corn plants treated with Xyway brand fungicide showed enhanced root growth and development, optimized nutrient uptake, greater water movement, and physiological development. Go long with Xyway brand fungicides at plant for a difference you'll appreciate at harvest. Visit your FMC retailer or xyway.ag.fmc.com to win your corn season. Always read and follow all label directions.
Follow the Taylorville Lady Tornadoes basketball team this season on 96.5thechill.com. On air and streamed online. Hear all the Lady Tornado games, home, away, and playoffs this season on 96.5thechill.com. On air and online. Sponsored by Advanced Title Group, Nikes Floor Coverings, McClure Hellberg Insurance, all in Taylorville, and your farmer-owned dairy, Prairie Farms.
The Taylorville Tornadoes are going to do it today.
The Christian County Economic Development Corporation is a not-for-profit organization whose mission is to promote the creation and retention of jobs and to increase the economic tax base through the development, establishment, and expansion of commerce and industry in the Christian County area. I'm Matt Hart, CCEDC's new Executive Director. I'm here to work with existing county employers as well as develop relationships towards creating new jobs in our county. Feel free to reach out to me, Matt Hart, by clicking our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Whatever temperatures this winter brings, your friendly and knowledgeable Bryant dealer is ready to help. Your dealer is committed to achieving a high level of training and skills and backed by outstanding products from one of the industry's most trusted names, Bryant. Whether you need a quick fix or an entirely new heating system, your local Bryant dealer will do whatever it takes for your family's comfort. Schedule an appointment today by calling Blakely Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, 824-4684, 824-4684. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Small towns are in, and Taylorville has what you're looking for. Whether for a visit or a move, Taylorville checks all the boxes, from the shops of Taylorville to Taylorville Eats and Treats, recreation, quality of life with affordable housing, and many civic and religious organizations, history, business development, places to stay or hold events. Taylorville has what you're looking for. Find out more by going to smalltowntaylorville.com. This message sponsored by the Small Town Taylorville Committee.
Your information station, WTIM.
Welcome back to WTIM, your information station. My name is Tim Zalabak, your host of the WTIM Morning Show. I'd like to thank the sponsors that make it all possible. People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better at Landmark. We're talking to Mayor Derek Page right now, the Assumption Mayor. We talked about some 2024 goals, some development happening where 16 new homes are slated to be created in this 2024 year. Let's talk a little bit about employment in the city of Assumption. Mayor Page, how are you? Once again, thank you so much for being here with us.
Well, we got some great employers. GSI, of course, is our largest employer, followed by Salone. And then we also have Kimmer Village, which is kind of out in the country, but we do consider it one of our own. And then, of course, the school district. You know, the school district, Central A&M Schools, is it's constantly, expanding out. Hiring. We actually had to create an additional classroom for kindergartners.
Wow.
So we've got a lot of great things going on with employment. I feel that if you come to Assumption, you can always find a job of some sort.
Well, that is absolutely huge, especially when you're trying to retain and attract residents into your town. There's places to work, and you mentioned Kemmerer Village right there. I would claim that too if I was the Assumption mayor. That is a great institution over there, and of course, it is in Assumption. You said just out a little bit. And when we're talking about Kemmerer Village and places that take care of people, you talked about the 708 Mental Health Board. This is the first time I'm really hearing about this. Can you tell us about this?
Well, I'm the president of the Christian County 708 Mental Health Board. And what it is that it is, so everybody in Christian County pays a line item for mental health onto their property taxes. That money then goes into the county. And then the board, the mental health board, oversees that fund. It's not very much. It's only a small amount, maybe about $110,000. And it's what we do is that we give that money to nonprofits to help with mental health throughout the county. One of the things that we do is that we've given some money to Christian County Public Health so that they can help with the system of hiring a mental health counselor. We've also are in the process right now of giving $7,800 to the Taylorville Prairieland Sexual Assault Center there so that they are able to have a matching fund to help with obtaining grants. So that's kind of the gist. We've helped with some things with Safe Passage. We've also done some things in the past with Christian County Mental Health Development there for the group home for the girls that are mentally disabled. So there's a lot of great things that we do. We have a small amount of money, but our board, we meet once a month, and we just kind of go over what we are doing, what we're trying to do for the county, and try to disperse those funds to where it can help people.
Wow. I mean, and even with that smaller budget that you mentioned right there, you're able to help so many community players out right here. You talked Safe Passage. You talked about the health department of Christian County, even the sexual assault group here. That is really amazing. We're lucky enough to speak to Dr. Chad Anderson of the Christian County Health Department, and he's been big on bringing in a new mental health coordinator there. And I had no idea that on the other end, Mayor Page, you're the president of this 708 Mental Health Board. Like some money is really being helped there on your end.
Exactly, and that's kind of been the goal of it. So the mental health board has always really existed, or the 708 part of it, but it's kind of went on a bit of a hiatus back in a little bit before COVID, back in 19. So then it got to where during COVID, with all the things, everybody was really drowning just from mental health issues. That's when it was brought up when Mike Rivera was the state's attorney. It's like, okay, hey, this board needs to get back up and going. That we need to distribute some of these funds that's out there, and kind of just taking off from there. Like I said, we wish we had some more money. We can get some more through state programs, but we're just a tiny board of just basically 6 people. It takes some time.
Yeah, a board of 6 people that are really keeping their thumb on the pulse of a very hot topic right now. And like you said, since COVID, it really took a back seat there. Now getting that started again, it's going to be a tough process, but really in the capable hands of you, Mayor Page, and we're as a community, we're lucky to have that.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I wear many hats, and there's sometimes like, oh man, I need mental health myself. Just doing for mayor, my own job, and then this. But
we all need it.
Make it through.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. So it's really good to hear that people have their sights set on a greater day for mental health across Christian County. That's going to be pretty amazing. Mayor Page, we're here in our last minute here. We can wrap up with something nice here. If there's anything else you want to get out there for our listeners, now would be the time. You got anything that you want our listeners to know?
Come to Assumption. Even if you're just cruising around, cruising around the county, we had a great light display. Come by. You can, go check out our brewery. We've also got a couple of other bars as well. We've got DJs. We also have Bricks that's open during the week for lunch. Just come out and check out Assumption and see all the great things that we have. Even if you just want to come and stare at the combines at Sloan, that's one of them. We have foxes out there. There's kind of been a Facebook feed of some foxes living out there. So that's been great. So just come out and check out Assumption and see the great things that we're doing and to bring people into our county.
Yeah, without a doubt. And as a new member in Christian County, it's been nice driving through Assumption and stopping in Assumption, seeing what they have to offer. And that Bricks Pizza, I've been there, a very great place to go. So Mayor Page, thank you so much for being here with us today.
No, thank you very much, Tim.
Without a doubt. That was Derek Page, the mayor of Assumption. We really thank him for being on the airlines with us today and learning all about the city and what is to be expected of them. This has been Tim Zalabak here on WTIM, your information station. Thank you all for listening.
Your information station, WTIM.
The Big 870 WTIM Assumption Taylorville, 96.1 W241 CF Taylorville, 107.5 W298 CD Shelbyville, 107.9 W300 EH Payne and Nokomis.
May be a quality control issue affecting some Boeing passenger jets.
United Airlines says it found loose bolts and other installation issues on a part of some Boeing 737 MAX 9 jets that were inspected after Friday's Alaska Airlines mid-flight blowout. The inspection